We start in Mpumalanga now, where the 24-year-old Zintle Maditla, who has been convicted of killing her 4 children, has been given 4 life jail terms by the High Court sitting in Middelburg in Mpumalanga.
Judge Mpahlele says that she could not find any reasons to deviate from the prescribed minimum sentence in the case of a 24-year-old woman who was convicted of killing her 4 children. Maditla pleaded guilty to intentionally poisoning her children at Clarinet in Mpumalanga in December last year due to anger that she had against her boyfriend.
Circumstances, I am of the considered view that the life imprisonment on each of the murder counts is the appropriate sentence. In the result, I sentence the accused as follows. In respect of count 1, for the murder of the little Zinhle Maditla, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment. Count 2, in respect of the murder of the little Blessing Maditla, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment. Count 3, in respect of the murder of Shaniqua Maditla, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment. Count 4, in respect of the murder of the little Zinhle Maditla, you are also sentenced to life imprisonment. Effectively, you are sentenced to 4 lifetime imprisonment.
For reaction on the story now, we have in studio with us Lynne Cawood. She is the Childline's director in Gauteng. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Your reaction to the sentence given to Zintle?
So may the children rest in peace. And it's a very, very tragic situation that, you know, the family is facing, and we as a country, I think, are all very traumatized by such an act. And I can't comment on the case because we obviously weren't involved in this particular issue, but I would like to just put it in context.
Yes.
So the Children's Institute at the University of Cape Town has done research under Dr. Shanaz Matthews, and they found that over 1,000 children every year, or in that particular year, children died of unnatural causes, and 45% of those were as a result of abuse. So it is a crisis, and is something that we really, really need to take, be concerned about. So we welcome the judgment because as Childline we believe that this sends a very, very strong message to the rest of our society that infanticide or the murder of children will not be tolerated and will not be accepted. And as Childline Gauteng, we really would like to call on parents to say that we are available 24/7, toll-free, from all service providers, and if any parent finds themselves in a situation where they have clearly lost it and are unable to contain their emotions, that they are welcome to phone us, and we have professional people on standby to assist and to talk them through it.
Exactly what I wanted to get to, Lynne, to say, if you listen to the details of this particular case and the evidence given by the mother herself in court, she says she acted out of anger as a result of a confrontation that he had with the father of her 2 younger children. Surely, in this particular instance, children had to suffer due to the misunderstanding between the parents.
So that is, kind of a very, very difficult situation to understand from a distance, but it speaks to the fact that there was a sense of ownership over those children. And to punish a father or a partner or a lover because of infidelity through the murder of children just doesn't add up. But having said that, what we do have to say that from the 4 million children living in Gauteng, only half of them are living with both their mother and their father. So we found a situation where 1/3 of them are living with only their mother in single parent households, which is often places a lot of stress on mothers. And almost 500,000 of them in Gauteng are living with neither parent. So I think that the statistics from this child gauge does speak to a crisis in South Africa in terms of family life, that that single mothers are often taking the brunt of responsibility. In terms of raising their children, and that's often quite a difficult situation, you know, to find yourself in, being both breadwinner, emotional supporter and disciplinarian of your young children. So we really need to query what has happened to our fathers, why are they so absent in terms of the support that mothers need to assist them to bring up children.
Indeed. Indeed. And the question really, I think what many people have been asking themselves is, how does it get to a point as a mother you just decide to take your children's lives? I mean, I heard the judge earlier on emphasizing that these children suffered in the hands of someone who was supposed to protect and nurture them, but instead the person killed them. How do we get to a point where this happens?
You know, it's a horrifying reality, and I have to be honest that I don't really know. That I think it would be very important for you know, people to assess this mom and to understand what she went through in those moments, and how that we can assist other moms who might get to that point to draw back from doing such a dastardly act, because it's just, you know, unacceptable, and I think very, very frightening for all of us, because as, you know, mothers, as parents, we are supposed to be nurturing and kind and caring. The reality is that, you know, I think mothers are under a lot of pressure, and our society as a whole is under an enormous amount of stress. And it's not just violence against children that we're concerned about, it's violence throughout the country. So it's violence against children, it's against women, it's violence on the roads, it's the losing of life from road accidents, it's man-on-man violence, and an increase in the crime stats. And that is something that we as a country, each person individually, has to really examine themselves and understand that it's not acceptable to act out your rage and your anger and your murderous feelings. We might all have them.
Something has to happen.
But you as an individual have the choice as to whether you act that out and create a more violent society, or whether you're able to contain that in some way through assistance and support systems, and to act in a more responsible manner. And so I think it's something that we as South Africans really have to examine for ourselves and make a decision to do things differently, because violence is out of control in the country.
Indeed.
And it's a very, very
Let's
destructive
just take, for
force.
instance, what happened in KwaZulu-Natal, where a father also killed his children. How do we move forward from this particular point in terms of protecting our children, not just as parents, but as society as a whole?
So I think we need to address the problem holistically. You know, a knee-jerk reaction of let's go in and do this and that and the other thing, you know, has been done and it hasn't been effective. And that we have to start from early childhood development, from conception of the child, when the child is in the mother's womb, to ensure, because what they say is that if you meet a child's needs fully, and just basic needs for the first 1,000 days, that's from conception to 2, in terms of nutrition, in terms of bonding with the caregiver, in terms of a proper environment, and a trauma-free existence and correct mental stimulations, that child is set for life, and will have that basis from which to move. So it's really important that we focus on mothering and assist mothers to really be able to understand what this infant needs from them, and then to go on to, through early childhood development, schooling systems, engaging with young people around psychosocial issues and life skills.
It's a process, indeed. All right, Lynne, we'll leave it.
In addition to that, we also have to strengthen our families in terms of being able to deal with the past traumas that they've had to deal with, and enable them to overcome that and to heal from that, so that they can be positive role models to the youth of this country.
Lynne, we've run out of time. We have to leave it at this, but thank you so much for coming through. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. Lynne Cawood, she's the director of Childline here in Gauteng.